Hi, everybody. My name is Eamon O'Brien, and welcome to this webinar tonight. It's absolutely maxed out, so welcome. We have people attending this call from all over Ireland, all over Europe, and all over the world. I've been hosting webinars for a number of years, and I've never seen the kind of numbers come in as we got for this webinar. Why? Because we have one of the most sought after trainers, presenters, a powerhouse in network marketing, a person that has wisdom well beyond these years. And when the word got out about this webinar, we had people registering from all over the world. So whether it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because I know we have people tuning in from all over the world. So people waking up in the middle of the night to people tuning in here in Europe. And one of the reasons we decided to put this call together is because we have a major event coming up in Dublin, Ireland. Of course, we do have boot camp, and one of the key trainers at that boot camp is the one and only youngest quadruple IMD in the world, hailing all the way from South Africa. You may have seen him on the front cover of Voyager magazine, the one and only Mr. Sashin Govender. Sashin, welcome to tonight's webinar. Are you there?
Hey, brother, I can hear you clearly. I got to have my video off because the signal's pretty bad, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So looking forward.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem. Take it away.
Sounds good. What's happening, guys? What's happening in Europe? What's happening in Ireland? What's happening around the world? I appreciate you guys having me on and, sharing a bit about my story and sharing about where we're at right now, but most importantly, where we headed as a company, as a group, as a team. And, most importantly, at the end of the day, I've been in the game for about 7 years. So, not as long as everyone else has. That's obviously startup and War Ventures. And I've only seen about plus minus, I would say 50% of the company. But when I did get started off, I realized that every single individual that started off before me, a majority of them, they had, industry experience in this game. And I really didn't have that. And I looked at people that had industry experience for like 15 years. Some had 20. And I was in day one. So I said, if I'm going to catch up to them, then there's one thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to have to outwork them consistently for a very long period of time. Because when I do that, whatever they've done in 10 years, if they've done, one meeting a day or 2 meetings a day or even 3 meetings a day for 10 years straight, I'm going to take 3 years out, but I'm going to do 10 meetings a day, every day for 3 years straight. Not for me, for my team. 10 2-on-1s, might even be 10 1-on-1s, whatever it is, but I just need to get in front of 10 brand new faces every 24 hours. And when I condense time frames, I realized that, my results started to kick in, but I realized it wasn't going to last forever because that, I really didn't have the knowledge about this industry to go long term. So 3 years is good, and I'll probably see some success in 3 years, but the ultimate aim is I want to see success for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So I cannot stop. I cannot take a break. And one of my favorite quotes is, I really don't know what rebuilding is because I've never ever stopped building. And this is 7 years later, 10 meetings a day, every day for 7 years straight. And whether it is 10 1-on-1s, 10 2-on-1s, a home event with 10 people, whatever it is, getting in front of 10 people a day, no excuses. And now sometimes I fly around the world and I'm doing home events, but I'm also doing 20, 30, 40 testimonials a day. So I'm just getting in front of new faces as much as possible. I love my leaders and we love each other and we have a good relationship and a good bond, but they already signed up and I can't sign them up again. So I got to get in front of people that are not in the game if I'm really going to take this thing to the next level. And I see it happening in sports so frequently. I see it happening in the music and entertainment industry very frequently. I see it happening with entrepreneurs very frequently. They get to the top. They're known for a very short period of time. They don't maintain it. They become a one-hit wonder. And they're off the surface. So when I looked at that, I realized, well, we're going to continuously maintain it. We're going to continuously launch new songs if we're an artist, launch new businesses if we're an entrepreneur, or go out there and launch, as an athlete, continuously score those goals or continuously win those games. And eventually what starts to happen is people never forget about you. So I needed to continuously do 10 meetings a day for a very long period of time so I can continuously rank up and never ever let my leaders, feel like, hey, well, there's a new leader on the block. Well, there's always new leaders on the block, but the ultimate aim is I cannot tell my leaders to do something that I've never done. So I want you to have the mindset of, hey, this young kid is 25 years old. He has been in the game for 7 years, but I want to catch him. I want to do 10 meetings a day, every day. I want to go out there and I want to jump on, FaceTimes and video calls, WhatsApp video calls, and I want to just be productive. Or you can, because you want to catch any one of the leaders. The only way to catch them is by outworking them. There's no other way. You cannot catch someone by talking. You can catch someone by outworking them. And that's what I want you to develop, a work ethic that is just so contagious, and you create that within your entire organization, and everyone's just outworking people. And that's what it's all about. So I'm in that phase right now where I'm ground level, outworking myself daily, continuously putting fresh new blood into the game and working with brand new people. I believe undoubtedly we will be the largest and fastest growing network marketing company in the world if everyone shakes up equally and everyone works as hard as we need to as a team, but individuals can't make this company. So we need to be able to be doing 10 meetings a day, every day. And I've been saying this from day one. 10 meetings a day, every day will get you to where you need to be. Will make you that ridiculous $200,000 a month. Will get you to IMD once, two times, 3 times, 10 times, whatever you want to do. It'll get you there. Now, I got my mindset set on long term, on building this empire and building a dynasty and treating it like a real physical business. But long story short, you want to be able to be the person who you would want to recruit. You would want to be the person who you would want to sign up. You would want to be that person who you would want to obviously go out there and build with on a daily basis. And there's 3 things I want you to focus on. Number 1, I need you to focus on going out there and continuously staying in the humble mode. No pride, no ego, because that's going to kill us. Number two, you're going to be able to take a bullet for your team. And you can't, and some of you have moms and dads and kids and siblings, and you want to spend a lot of time with them. I'm not against that. But I am telling you right now, if you really want to take care of your family, it's not by spending time with them. It's by going out there and living full time with them. Not prioritizing 1 hour, 2 hours on a weekend or 5 hours because you want to spend some time with your family, but because you want to spend 168 hours a week with your family. So you want to get to that point. And you can't get to that point if you don't make the decision to stay humble, stay coachable, no ego, no pride, and be able to find a work ethic, a ground level work ethic for you and your team, and be able to outwork everyone. And then, number 3, you want to continuously reinvest. I'm bringing over 200 people to the boot camp event in Europe, Ireland. 200 people from South Africa. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to bring 200. And 200 people are going to pay a few $1,000s, flights, accommodation, and come out there. So what is your excuse? And thousands of people will listen to this recording. But what is your excuse about not going to the event? That's why you'll never make what you want to make. And that's why you'll never have the type of growth and success you proclaim you're going to have. But I need you to understand, we can be the hottest company in the world if everyone plays their part. Reinvest into the events. Now, there's 2 things that's going to happen. That the universe or God or whatever your beliefs is in life, they already got to square it up. They know, the universe or God knows how many events you need to go to before you hit the pinnacle, the top rank of the company. Maybe it's 30, maybe it's 40, maybe it's 50. And the faster you do it, the better it is. So go to every event if you can. Come back and execute. Go to boot camp, Europe, maybe boot camp, Africa, and then come back and go work. But if you know you need to go to 30 events, and if you knew the answer, you would probably do it in 1 year, 2 years, because you would want to compress time frames. And then number two, you need to understand. So you need to understand, you need to go to the events. You need to reinvest into the events. But what you also need to reinvest in is your tools. A simple platform like Zoom. If you consider yourself being a leader, you got to go get your own paid version. There's a little things that make a big difference. When I look at someone and I want to build with someone and I want to help them take their life and business to the next level, it's nothing else. I got a lot of leaders in my team that are poster people because they got there because we helped them get there. And I got a lot of people who can outwork almost every person. But I respect people who outwork people rather than talking about how they're going to outwork people. Because I'll tell you right now, the people who are talking, they won't last. The people who did not outwork the world, they won't be here a year from today. Their success would not be as consistent as they'd like it to be. They won't have long-term success. And that's where they need to go back to rebuilding. And they're already out the game. I'm on a tour right now. 10 cities, 7 days. Tonight I was in 2 cities in 1 day. You tell me which leaders are going to go 2 cities in 1 day. You tell me. 500 people in the first city, 500 in the next city. Tomorrow, same deal. Driving 3 hours to one city, 2 hours to the next. 2 meetings. I'm in another city. The following day, Wednesday, I'm in 2 cities again. The following day again, I'm in 1 city. Saturday, I got to go back to Los Angeles, 27-hour flight. I got a new team that's growing out there. I need you to understand something. There's someone who talks about making shit happen. And there's someone who makes it happen. But if you're not going to make it happen, you're not qualified to make excuses. You're not qualified to tell people why it's not working for you. You're not qualified to tell people about all the excuses you're getting. You're not making it happen. You're not doing 10 meetings a day. No matter who you are, where you're from, what you're worth, work like you're broke. It's a tagline I live by. Breathe, eat, sleep. Work like you're broke. Be able to work like you're broke, but most importantly, be able to do 10 meetings a day. 10 meetings a day will set you free for the rest of your life. Nothing else, just 10 meetings a day. You ask every single person that hit the top rank of the company, it's 10 meetings a day. That's the answer. So, is there any other questions that I can maybe get answered for you, brother?
No, pretty much. I love what you've covered so far, Sashin. I mean, on this, what would you say to people who are maybe coming into the business? Maybe they've booked boot camp. What would you say to them? The action that they need to take between now and whichever boot camp they're going to maximize that event?
Yeah, what I would say is very simple. Go get a calendar, and I want you to go back old school. All these stupid tools, like you being able to type in on Apple, you got your own calendar, digital calendar. That's old. You got to go back old school. You got to get that A4 hardcover book. You got to go get a diary. You got to go back old school. You want to make $1 million? You want to go back old school. You're going to be complicated and distracted by all these new technology pieces. Get a I'd say A4 diary where you can see the entire month on 2 pages. And what you do with those is you literally pack out every single schedule, every single day, every single hour that you're free. Now, some of you might be free for an hour a day, but I'm talking to the parents on this call right now. Parents, you have kids. You're probably spending about 2 hours a day from Monday to Friday with your kids. 10 hours every week, Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, let's square it up, and you're spending 5 hours a day with your kid. 10 hours on the weekend. You're spending 20 hours every single week with your kid. That means you're spending 1 day a week with your kid. 1 day. When you take that and you square it up for the whole year, you're spending about 33 days out of 365 days with your kid. So basically, if your kid is about 15 years old, you're only spending 3 years with your kid. 15 to 18, you're only spending 3 years with your kid. You're wasting about 90, 80% of their life. As a parent, when you bring a kid on the planet, you need to provide freedom, because that's why you brought your kid on the planet. So I need you to understand there's 168 hours in a week, and if you don't start building your World Ventures business today, you'll never ever own 168 hours in a week to spend 168 hours with your kid. You got to get into the environment of building something that's going to give you full time with your kids, with your family. Because right now you're spending 33 days a year with your kid. It's over a month. So you see your kid 1 month a year. It's kind of crazy that people don't even look at it that way. So if you don't want to build World Ventures, no problem. Keep spending a month a year with your kid. I'll go get this thing done. Go from now till boot camp. Pack that schedule out. Pack it out. Every single hour that you're free, you need to be able to spend on your World Venture business so you can get to a point and be a full-time mom or full-time dad or full-time whoever you want to be. But stop making excuses of why you won't build this thing. So you're probably new right now. I'm very blunt and straight up. Get ready to roll up your sleeves and work. And work, it means opening up that laptop more than anyone possibly can. Showing more faces than you will ever meet. I did that for 3 years straight. I reset. I did it again. I'm getting ready right now to hit IMD 5 times. I'm going to do it for the 6th time. 7th time, 8th time, 9th time, 10th time. Because I'm going to show people that you can come from a third world country and the average income is $200 a month. And you can be dead broke, but you can be who you want to be. I'm going to show people you can come from a third world country and you can outwork people in first world countries. I'm going to show people that. I'm not going to tell people. I'm not going to stand here and tell people. I'm going to show them that that's what you can do. And the more desire you have, the more you will make it to the top. And if I need a lead to do it, I'll do it. Not for you to figure out, hey, you can do it, but for you to realize, hey, hold on. That kid, I met him when he was 18 years old. I met him when he was only a quadruple nice 10 times. I met him when he was IMD times 1 nice 4 times. And, you know, people are always going to talk, but they've never talked shit about one thing. They've never talked about how I outworked them. So get ready for people to talk. They've never said one thing about how I've outworked them. And you gotta create that environment and outwork every single person. Be the hardest worker in your entire team, and your team will only do 10% of what you do.
Sashin, it's Shush.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So in the beginning, obviously, nobody took you seriously. You had no upon no upon no. I know there was like, I don't know, more than 100 no's. What flipped? What changed? Where
I was always in that environment of the events. So I always got plugged into the personal development event. So I understand it was going to flip in due time. I just don't know when it's going to flip. I knew it was going to flip. I knew success is possible. I knew success is owed to people who stick it out. I just don't know when. So I knew you can become successful because, you know, mansions and dream cars and private jets are created for humans. They're not created for robots or people that aren't, you know, born and aren't people like you and I. So when I looked at it, I realized I know I can become successful. I just don't know when. I'm not going to focus on what I can't control. I can't control the results, but I can control the activity. I just got to emotionally detach myself from people's opinions. The worst they're going to say to me is, no, it's a scam. Or I'm never going to succeed. It's going to hurt my feelings. But if I get back in the zone and get back in the game and I do it for the right reasons, eventually it's going to flip. It's going to flip. It's so ironic. There's only about plus minus 300 IMDs around the whole company worldwide. We have over 2 million members worldwide. I mean, look at the stats. How many people really go IMD? Because they're not talkers. They're doers. They're actually making this happen. So, yes, I believed I was going to do it from day one. So I didn't question it. If you're questioning it right now, well, it's going to be very difficult. because then you're kind of feeling like you got to convince yourself to stay in the game. And once again, I said it, you can't be at a place where you don't deserve to be because you're not feeling content about it. You've got to be in an environment that you're not chasing the results, but you genuinely want to make a difference. Anyone that says, hey, I'm going through too much of rejection. Hey, I can't make it to a meeting. Hey, this is too expensive. Well, guess what? It's all about you. You've already made it about you, so you're not going to succeed. Make it about other people, and you will start to lose focus on the amount of rejection and the amount of no's you go through.
That's awesome, bro. I've got a question as well from Martin Stoyanov. He says, how do you continuously find new people to show the presentation? Can you share some strategies?
Yeah, so there's multiple different ways. Number one, I'm always about signing someone up. And when I sign someone up, I work with them. When I joined World Ventures, I had absolutely no warm market. So I only worked with people who had warm market. I would sign you up and I'd get in front of your list as fast as possible. When I mean as fast as possible, I had no emotional attachment to your list. I had no emotional attachment to you. I wanted to work today. I created an environment where people wanted to work and have fun at the same time. So long story short, your list is always expanding. That's number one. Number two, another way that your list could potentially expand is by you going out there and, working social media. And I found formulas to do that. And you want to speak to Shush on a private basis about that. But the ultimate aim is, there's 8 billion people around the world, and you can get in front of all 8 billion. However you want to get in front of them, you just got to understand something. Someone is. They're either going to join Amway, they're going to join Herbalife, they're going to join whatever company they need to join, or they're going to join you. And my aim is I don't lose, so I sign everyone up. If you're not going to show your mom, your dad, your brother and sister, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, your ex-girlfriend, your next girlfriend, one person is. Sashin or his team will sign up everyone.
That's awesome. Okay. Eamon, is there any last question before we wrap up?
Yeah, exactly. Sashin, I mean,
yes,
like you just said it there, you create this culture, of, creating that fear of loss with people. So, one, how did you create that culture? And two, I mean, with the kind of success that you have now, you're knocking on the door of being the first person in the world to go 5 times IMD. How do you keep that motivation going? Like, I know one of your quotes is like, work like you're broke. Even though you have, the kind of lifestyle that most people would kind of take a step back, what keeps you going?
Yeah, so number one, the culture that we've created is go find a coffee shop or go find a food court or go find a hotel lobby and have 10 people, 5 people, whatever, until you get to a point where you kicked out. I'm going to be honest with you. If you've never been kicked out of a restaurant for sitting there and ordering absolutely nothing or coffee for the entire day, then you've really not done World Ventures. You've really not done network marketing. You've really not done business. Because I got kicked out of many restaurants. Up until today, if I sit in a restaurant, they kick me out because I can't order every hour. But I got people showing up every day and they hate the fact that it's an office. Well, who cares? I'm going to the next restaurant, just like I'm going to the next guest. Create an environment that gives you a culture that keeps people in. People can quit a company, but they can never, ever quit a team, a family, a culture. That's number one. Number two, I really and truly, build my business every day as if I'm going to lose it tomorrow. So I know I'll never lose it. I looked at the wealthiest people around the world. Literally, they'd make it and lose it about 4 times. They made $1 million and lost it. They've been a millionaire about 4 times on average. I'm not going to make those mistakes. So I build it because complacency is one of the reasons I can take you out the game. I build it as if I'm about to lose everything. I build it as if it's my last day alive. I build it as if, it's all going to crumble tomorrow. I'm going to lose it all. So when I build it in that way, it's that fear of day one. I was broke once upon a time. I don't want to be broke again. I don't want to go backwards. It's too difficult for a mental shift. You got to understand that's how you need to build your career and your life. Now, some of you don't have the desire level that most people do, and that's fine. Maybe you want to go IMD times 1. Do it, but be the best IMD you could possibly be. How do you feel that your team looks at you and says, hey, you want me to work, but you're not working? Or you want me to do the presentation, but you're not working? You're not attending all these events, but you're proclaiming and you're pushing people to go? Well, guess what? I'm doing it. You guys know, people like Shush knows, I attended boot camp in Europe way before I even trained there. I attended boot camp in Africa, boot camp in USA. I used to go to all the events as a student. And then eventually, I'm learning to teach. That's all I'm really doing.
Fantastic, fantastic. And one final question here from Tiago. He goes, what kind of steps do you do to get someone started fast in their first 24 hours? What do you do?
Sign them up immediately and I ask them one question. Number one, how fast do you want to grow, fast or slow? Whatever the answer is, if they say slow, I'll push them to the direction that they want to go. If they say fast, I'll say, let's get it. Second thing, make a names list. 20 names right in front of me. We're making 2 names lists, one of 20 in front of me and one when you get home of emptying everyone you possibly know. Third thing, we always book a home event instantly within the first 48 hours. So if today is Monday, no later than Wednesday night, I'm in the living room. And the last thing is we're setting up 2 home events, 2 1-on-1s and 2-on-1s, either today or tomorrow, depending on what time it is. I'm all about action and nothing else. When I sign people up, I'm all about working them. I'm all about pushing them in the right direction. I ask them what they want. They can tell me they want this, that, whatever. But I'm working as if I'm also achieving that goal and dream with them. So I hope that answers the question.
Bro, just one question. When you say that you want to be in their home within like a couple of days, could that also be a Zoom?
That could be a Zoom. Like sometimes you're building a team outside of the area, or you can't. Today we're shifting. Maybe people don't want to do home events, and once again, they will do home events if that's your idea of how you build your business. But if they don't, well, a Zoom launch event is very similar. It's the exact same thing. In actual fact, you don't have to wait for 48 hours anymore. You can do it in the same day or if not tomorrow. You want to be able to create that environment where it's all about productivity and action and moving your feet so people don't get stuck.
Perfect. That's awesome, man. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I will see you in Ireland for the very first time. Europe boot camp. Love you guys. God bless.
Thank you so much, Sashin Govender. Thank you so much, Shush. And as you said, so many golden nuggets there. We will be sending out a recording. And if you want any more reasons, you just got there to book boot camp in Dublin or boot camp in whichever region of the world you're going to. So thank you once again, Sashin Govender. This is a recording well worth listening to over and over again. So guys, that is it. See you on the beaches of the world. Bye-bye.